Boy, welcome back, folks. I was not going to do any videos at all. Not a single video today at all for this whole week. I've been busy doing other stuff. As you can see in some of my videos, I'm all asleep. But I had this news feed pop on my phone. So I'm going ahead and do this video. Now, this video is about Mel Gibson has proof and that Oprah is finished. If this is true, which is true, she has done some pretty disgusting things to people. But you know Mel Gibson, he don't bullshit around, he don't lie, he's straightforward kind of guy. So let's go ahead and get in the video here, cause Oprah done a lot of dirty shit to a lot of people, and nobody's speaking out about it. Even her close friends got dirty by her. So let's go ahead and get this video. Let's go.
Appeared with Oprah, it's hard to argue that speaking out came without consequences. And others seem to be on the receiving end of this tactic too. Susan Powter recalled after declining an Oprah appearance, her team warned her, quote, "You do know that you may never work in this town again." In fact, it became a rarity to speak out against her, like when Prince quipped her for asking why he was weird and why he lived in Minneapolis.
"It's so cold, it keeps the bad people out."
It's the way he looks her right in the eye when he says it. But Monique wasn't an exception. This kind of drama extraction technique was the foundation Oprah's show was built on. In return for using it to platform yourself, celebrities were expected to surrender a compromising story. Whether this was a confession, breakdown, or secret they spent years protecting, everything was on the table. No celebrity wanted to be the one who seemed difficult, ungrateful, or guarded in front of an audience that could end careers overnight. It was an industry secret that spawned the infamous phrase, "Nobody says no to Oprah." This was the trap Toni Braxton walked into. She went on Oprah's show expecting a supportive conversation about financial hardship with a woman she'd admired her entire life. Braxton
I'm
wasn't...
sorry, guys. So you're telling me if you don't go on the show,
You're not gonna be famous.
you might get blackballed. So you have to go on this show and confess something.
So it's like a humiliation ritual.
She can benefit, and if you don't help her benefit, you pay the price.
Oh my God.
You know, that's why they say you gotta bend the knee in Hollywood. This is part of bending that knee.
She's more than for sure a part of the people. Them elites,
She
the
100%
blood
is.
drinking people. She's a part of it.
That's what they say on South Park.
already in a vulnerable position, openly admitting she was broke years before meeting Oprah. But when the interview began, it quickly turned into an interrogation, one that felt less like a conversation and more like a humiliation ritual in front of millions.
She's so freaking mean to me. I was in shock. Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%.
100%.
I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me.
You are okay, he broke?
Broke.
Like broke.
Like,
No money.
no money. Like net worth what?
Negative.
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 And immediately, she made me feel this big. This big. That moment completely changed my career. It made people look down on me.
Braxton's lowest point had just been turned into a punchline in front of millions. She says this experience still haunts her today, permanently affecting her ability to trust, open up, and feel safe being vulnerable in public. One of Oprah's methods in all of this was confrontation, ambushing guests with the thing they were most afraid to talk about. That was just great business for her show, as people loved the drama. And so maybe that's why she felt entitled to ambush the young actress Mary-Kate, who was 17 at the time, about rumors of her eating disorder.
I know there's a new rumor that's recently surfaced. Has really upset you, right? You know the one about eating.
Yeah, people are going to write what they want to write.
What size are you, by the way?
Size?
Yeah, I always
I'm
like to
really
know.
short.
You're not sure?
Girls, and
That's so interesting.
Or why Oprah felt entitled to police which words Raven-Symoné could use about her own identity.
I'm an American. I'm not an African American. I'm an American.
Oh, girl, don't set up
get
your Twitter on fire.
I'm sorry. What did you just say? Stop the tape right now.
I don't know how far back, and I don't know what country in Africa I'm from, but I do know that my roots are in Louisiana. I'm an American,
Bars.
and that's a colorless
Facts.
person, because we're all people. I have lots of things running through my veins.
I mean, you're going to get a lot of flack for saying you're not African American. You know that, right? So I want you to say what you...
They don't like that.
I don't understand what was wrong about what she said. I don't know where I'm from in Africa either. I like to say I'm an American, I'm a black American.
You only got American culture.
It sounds smart.
That's all I know.
They don't want the people thinking.
I'm an American, and that's a colorless person. Because we're all people. I have lots of things running through my veins.
I mean, you're going to get a lot of flack for saying you're not African American. You know that, right? So I want you to say what you really mean by that.
What I really mean by that is I'm an American. That's what I really mean.
Another one of her methods was compassion, turning the show into a performance of safety so people would lower their guard and expose the most private, painful parts of themselves. That was one of her gifts, making intrusion look like care and exploitation look like empathy. Just look at how she treats Kelsey Grammer, a man scarred by brutal family tragedy, pushed not just to remember his pain, but to relive it for the camera.
My sister died 2 years.
You say my sister died. Your sister was brutally and murdered, which is a little different than just dying. You still miss her, I can see. Do you ever get over it?
No.
But Oprah's brand didn't only extract value from guests on her own show, it did something even more ambitious. It incubated entirely new franchises from dangerous people. Because that's exactly what businesses do when they find a profitable formula. They scale it and build subsidiaries. And it's in these profitable decisions that Oprah built an empire far beyond the name and person itself. Take Dr. Oz, a surgeon who Oprah platformed over 60 times before spinning him off into his own show, produced by her company. Within a few years, he'd gone from legitimate medical advice to promoting miracle weight loss supplements on air. Products so dubious, he was hauled in front of a Senate hearing and publicly grilled for misleading millions of consumers. But at least Oz had medical credentials and wasn't a clear-cut villain. The next person Oprah endorsed had nothing at all. This video is sponsored by Abacus AI. One thing that's happened, one is better for writing, another for reading, and pin comment below. John of God was one of the biggest cons in modern history, a self-proclaimed Brazilian faith healer who claimed he could cure serious illness through nothing more than divine power and spiritual intervention. Over time, he built a devoted following in Brazil, where sick patients would line up for days hoping to build full research-backed presentations, or even use their Abacus AI agent to create an entire link in the description and pin comment below.
Would you be happy if you stayed where you are in life and job forever? If the answer is yes, then this video is not for you. But if you want to finally achieve the time, location, and financial freedom you know you deserve, then this new career may be the answer to all your prayers. Because what I'm about to reveal to you is unlike anything you've ever seen before. It pays extremely well, it's flexible with hours and location, you don't need a degree, and here's the craziest part, you can earn while you learn and still have enough time to juggle your current job, responsibilities, and even family. So here's what I'm talking about. I'm David Bragg, founder.
John of God.
It makes a lot of sense though, because Oprah has been known to do a lot of shitty shit. It's just like you sign yourself over to the devil. She helps you get famous and you gotta help get her famous for her. And if these are true what's going on, Hollywood Game is saying, yeah, Oprah and Ellen act like good people but being horrible to everyone. They just sad. So yeah, Oprah don't really give about nobody. She don't care about nobody. Look at all the damn scandals she's tied into. She's friends with Diddy. Close friends with Diddy. She knew Epstein very well. Epstein helped her get where she's at now. So let's get her in the video here, shall we?
Was one of the biggest cons in modern history. A self-proclaimed Brazilian faith healer who claimed he could cure serious illness through nothing more than divine power and spiritual intervention. Over time, he built a devoted following in Brazil, where sick patients would line up for days hoping to be miraculously cured. But he had no medical training, no qualifications, and his methods had been debunked by medical experts around the world. In fact, at the time, there were countless stories of people who spent their life savings traveling to Brazil to meet him, only to then return home no better than when they left.
Looking back now, Glennis, how do you describe that journey to Brazil to see John of God?
When I saw him, he just went zoom, 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 and that was it.
Did you ever go back?
No, decided not to go because I didn't feel any effect whatsoever.
How did that leave you? Were you
disappointed? Of course you are disappointed. You hope to be able to walk and get better.
needless to say, any reasonable person would see this for what it is, a grift designed to sell false hope to sick and desperate people, all while exploiting their vulnerability for financial gain. But surprisingly, not Oprah. In fact, at the time, there were countless stories of people who spent their life savings traveling to Brazil to meet him, only to then return home no better than when they left.
Looking back now, Glennis, how do you describe that journey to Brazil to see John of God?
When I saw him, he just went zoom, 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 and that was it.
Did you ever go back?
No, decided not to go because I didn't feel any effect whatsoever.
How did that leave you? Were you
disappointed? Of course you are disappointed. You hope to be able to walk and get better.
It's needless to say, any reasonable person would see this for what it is, a grift designed to sell false hope to sick and desperate people, all while exploiting their vulnerability for financial gain. But surprisingly, not Oprah. She quickly picked up the story, featuring him in her magazine and devoting several episodes of her show to praising his work and claiming his powers could genuinely save lives. There are blog posts on her website dedicated to him, which have now been deleted, presumably because of what happened next. She flew out to meet him in person and documented the case of Lisa Melman, a woman who had abandoned conventional cancer treatment in favor of John of God's supposed healing powers. And on Oprah's stage, Melman claimed something remarkable, that her breast cancer was now gone and that John had cured her. There was evidence of this discussion on YouTube, but it's all been since scrubbed by Oprah's team. That's because the reality was just far more tragic, because just 2 years later, Lisa Melman died. Her cancer had never been cured at all, and according to reports, after she abandoned conventional treatment, the disease continued to spread and progressively worsened. So by the time she died, she was going to be in agonizing pain, and Oprah never returned to television to tell that part of the story. This happened while Oprah prolifically promoted the benefits of breast cancer screening when that virtue needed to be signaled. But by then,
they are sacrificing people.
They trying to make money.
Yeah, that's all you do.
This is all about money. All I'm seeing in this, and the underlying play is that she will do anything to make money. She'll make a story out of anything. She don't care who gets hurt. As long as she benefits and get paid in the end, she gonna do it. If you don't help her, you gonna pay the price.
Yeah, it's just no way you're a follower of Jesus Christ and you would go to someone and say he can heal you with no medical treatment.
This is not logical.
That is insane. You don't believe in Jesus Christ. And I feel like they sacrificing people.
For the money.
For the great dollar.
For the dollar. So is that the human blood?
Almighty dollar.
So by the time she died, she was going to be in agonizing pain, and Oprah never returned to television to tell that part of the story. This happened while Oprah prolifically promoted the benefits of breast cancer screening when that virtue needed to be signaled. But by then, the damage had been done. She had already endorsed John of God to an international audience as a man capable of miracles. From there, John of God's business exploded, with an estimated 15 million people traveling from across the world to meet him. But for many of the women who entered his orbit, that journey didn't end in healing, it ended in sexual abuse. A subtext that exploded into public view in 2018 when more than 600...
Hold up!
Age 8 to 67.
Oh, they're sacrificing. People that have influence, like we're seeing right now, you can just lead people astray.
She's doing whatever it takes to make money.
You promote something, they're going to Oprah it.
It's good.
Take the COVID vaccine.
She had already endorsed John of God to an international audience as a man capable of miracles. From there, John of God's business exploded, with an estimated 15 million people traveling from across the world to meet him. But for many of the women who entered his orbit, that journey didn't end in healing, it ended in sexual abuse. A subtext that exploded into public view in 2018 when more than 600 women, including John's own daughter, came forward accusing him of sexual abuse.
John of God was declared a fugitive on Saturday after missing a deadline to surrender to the authorities. Claims against him began earlier this month when a dozen women said the self-styled spiritual healer had abused them at his clinic. Since then, scores have poured in from women within Brazil and abroad. Faria became internationally famous when he appeared on a show hosted by Oprah Winfrey. His fame had been boosted by supposedly miraculous surgeries.
And this is where Oprah's role becomes impossible to ignore. If she had done her due diligence before legitimizing John of God on her show, she may have picked up on allegations that had followed him throughout his career. The quiet murmur that this so-called healer was in fact not who he seemed on more than one level. So while we can't know exactly how many women Oprah helped steer into a circle, it's difficult to deny that her endorsement played a significant role in widening that pipeline. After all, she never seriously challenged his claim, she never pressed him on evidence, and never really subjected him to the kind of scrutiny any responsible interviewer would have applied. What makes this even harder to excuse is that Oprah, by her own account, understood exactly how predators operate. She spoke as a child. She even said this to a room full of people who had suffered abuse.
Oprah's a fraud. Okay, people? She's a fraud. She's a liar. She's a schemer. She's a two-faced. She just set her own mama soul for money. Alright? You've seen it. How she does with friends. All that shit. It just shows how crooked she is. Back to the video.
Showing them that she had inside knowledge of how people are groomed.
The attention and the seduction from the predator, it feels good. I mean, if you're 7 years old and someone is stroking your penis, it feels good. Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good. And I have said for years, if the abuser is any good.
Yeah, she was hard on fouls.
What the hell is that? It feels good?
I'm gonna go, bro. This is insane.
Feels good is a crazy statement.
You know, sometimes I be thinking like, man, I don't know, man. Some people get famous. Maybe people are tripping with the Illuminati stuff. But this right here, when it comes to how people think, that Illuminati is involved in that. I don't know about basketball and the NBA and the NFL. No, I don't believe that. It's sport. But as far as what they're making people believe in the entertainment industry, in the news, it's evil in that shit, man. 100%, bro. This is insane. To me, it seems like this guy, I don't know.
He's part of the ring. He was part of the Epstein ring. That's what it looked like. It looked like she was helping them funnel people through.
Pretty much, yes, pretty much.
It feels good. I mean, if you're 7 years old and someone is stroking your penis, it feels good. Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good. And I have said for years, if the abuser is any good, you won't even know it's happened. You will be in it and you won't even know it's happened. And if the abuser is any good, he or she is going to make you feel like you're a part of it.
And John of God wasn't even the only dangerous franchise Oprah helped build. Dr. Phil was a trial consultant, someone who helped people win high-stakes legal battles. He also worked on jury selection, analyzing jurors' behaviors so lawyers could decide who to keep and who to remove. Oprah brought him onto her show, where he quickly became a regular, and that made perfect sense, not because he was a good therapist, but because he was the perfect brand extension. Oprah had already built a format around emotional confession, family conflicts, trauma, and personal accountability. Dr. Phil added the appearance of professional authority. Positioned as a trained psychologist, he gave Oprah's worldview a veneer of expertise, and it made
Last pause, but that's how that happened? Like Dr. Phil got his show?
Because of Oprah?
Yeah, but coming on Oprah, that's insane.
That's how Steve Wilkos got a show. He was on Maury.
Damn, I did not know that. Oh, wow. For real?
Yeah.
He was the
He's
security guard. You don't
remember? His show had like almost 30 seasons.
No, I love that show.
It used to be funny. He used to crash out on so many people.
No, that shit was so funny, bro. He was so serious, bro.
Did you know there's a type of insurance?
show feel less like messy, highly personal television and more like guidance. The advice they gave often included sending struggling teenagers to residential treatment programs like Turnabout Ranch, a Utah facility marketed as rehabilitation but surrounded for years by allegations of abuse, including sexual, physical, and psychological harm. In a lawsuit, a former Dr. Phil guest alleged she was sexually assaulted by a staff member at 17. She further claimed that after reporting the incident, she was punished rather than protected, and when she returned to the ranch, she was forced to work in freezing conditions and made to sleep on a wooden plank and subjected to additional degrading treatment.
Needed help are now suing the Utah teen treatment centers that they were sent to, claiming that they faced isolation, humiliation, and abuse.
A lot of trauma, including previous assaults, various forms of self-harm. You're actually just isolated in a room.
That's the big thing, was isolation.
Publicly humiliated in front of the group by the therapist. And they would all just shame me.
In the lawsuit, she claims she was 17 when an employee took advantage of that isolation.
Have y'all seen Wayward? Have y'all seen that shit?
Yes. But that show is based off of this type of stuff.
What the hell?
And abuse.
A lot of trauma, including previous assaults, various forms of self-harm. You're actually just isolated in a room.
That's the big thing, was isolation.
Publicly humiliated in front of the group by the therapist, and they would all just shame me.
In the lawsuit, she claims she was 17 when an employee took advantage of that isolation to groom her for sexual encounters.
They would encourage the girls to literally bully me and just tell me about how horrible I am.
The lawsuit says Vista therapists shamed victims of sexual assault and forced them to talk about the specifics in group sessions.
Perhaps the most high-profile teenager sent there was Daniela Brigoli, who later described the place in brutal terms.
They just take them, they handcuff them, they put them in the car. It's basically like kidnapping. So for the first 3 days you're there, there's no showering. They put you in a circle, which is it's a teepee. It's a little teepee, but it's open, and you have to sit there for 3 days. They wouldn't let me lay down for nothing. Like, I was falling asleep and they were like, get up, get up. This place is all about taking away privileges. Like, okay, yeah, the phone is a privilege, TV, like all that. But they take away like necessity privileges, like sleeping on a bed, eating good food, not being cold.
Oprah's production company created Dr. Phil. It funded his show and profited from it. And when that show sent children into facilities where they were allegedly abused, she was insulated because Dr. Phil was his own name, his own show, and it was his own problem. This is the model that modern celebrity empires run on. The name at the top gets the goodwill, but the structures underneath absorb the damage. Oprah would repeatedly descend on a cause, make a grand gesture, and let the cameras capture every moment before moving on to the next project. This was exactly what happened in 2007, when Oprah opened the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa. She poured $40 million into the campus for 152 disadvantaged girls. She hand-selected them herself and put on a huge launch party attended by top-ranking celebrities. On the face of it, supporting girls from poor backgrounds with education appears to be a good thing. But it came to light that the school contained a beauty salon, a yoga studio, 2 theaters, and luxury dormitories. Every tile, door handle, and finish was Oprah's particular choice, including pillowcases bearing an embroidered O. While it's her money to spend, critics immediately pointed out the obvious. That same $40 million spread differently could have helped thousands of students across the country. But instead, Oprah built a monument, something needlessly indulgent that she could put her name on and point as proof of her moral superiority. Howard Stern of all people described it well, saying,
"No, I am fascinated by Oprah, but sometimes she's unaware of the sort of ways she shows her wealth." Yes. But I think in the world right now, there is such a disparity between those who have and those who have not.
Right.
And only getting worse.
And the way Oprah talked about it told you everything. She called herself Mama Bear to these girls, a name which becomes grim when you realize that their actual mothers were describing the school as more of a prison, while others went even further and called it an outright abduction. The mothers report being forced to wait an hour and a half through security, then permitted just 2 hours with their own children before being turned away at the gate. But what made this whole situation even worse was the fact that in 2007, a dormitory matron was charged with assault, indecent assault, and soliciting underage girls, and at least 7 victims came forward. Oprah's response? She fired the staff, tightened the rules, and restricted access to the girls even further, which isn't exactly a great look for a woman whose relationship with abusive men was already raising questions around this time. Because Oprah's connection to Harvey Weinstein has never been fully explained. For years, they were visibly close, photographed together at events, linked professionally through his distribution of The Butler, and seen socializing within the same elite circles. And when the allegations broke, one of Weinstein's accusers, a British actress named Kadia Noble, described how seeing Oprah with Weinstein at a BAFTA after party had made her trust him. She later alleged that Weinstein used promises of career advancement.
What did you say?
Socializing within the same elite circles. And when the allegations broke, one of Weinstein's accusers, a British actress named Kadia Noble, described how seeing Oprah with Weinstein at a BAFTA after party had made her trust him. She later alleged that Weinstein used promises of career advancement to lure her to his hotel room in Cannes, where he sexually assaulted her. After more than 60 women came forward, Oprah called out his behavior, but she was notoriously slow in doing so. She also used language designed to move the conversation away from Weinstein himself, saying, "If we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment." According to TMZ, Weinstein told his team that Oprah had called to offer support after the allegations broke. Oprah's spokesperson denied she had contacted him directly, but acknowledged she would have been open to interviewing him. Seal was one of the very few to break ranks on Oprah's relationship with Weinstein, posting a photo of her kissing Harvey Weinstein's cheek with the caption, "When you have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution." But he then walked it back days later, clarifying he had enormous respect for Oprah and that the post was about Hollywood's hypocrisy and not her specifically. But it turned out not to be an isolated case, as behind the scenes something else was emerging, an even more damaging pattern of behavior around a different powerful man. In 2019, Oprah signed on as an executive producer of a documentary called On the Record, a film centered on the sexual assault allegations against hip-hop mogul Russell Simmons. It featured interviews with several of the more than 20 women who had accused him. It was set to premiere at Sundance and stream on Apple TV Plus as part of Oprah's content deal. But just days before the premiere, Oprah abruptly pulled out. She cited creative differences and claimed there were inconsistencies in some of the women's stories. Her withdrawal also killed the Apple TV Plus distribution deal, leaving the filmmakers scrambling for a new platform. Three of Simons' accusers then appeared on CBS This Morning in the aftermath, and the segment was introduced by Oprah's close friend Gayle King, who suggested the allegations needed to be put in the context of the times, which seemed to be the antithesis of Oprah's own principles.
Nothing. Well, Gayle King said, that's what they gonna say.
Not man, I'm tired. Seems like there's a lot of collusion in covering this stuff. A lot of these powerful people are working together to exploit others and and push their own agenda and power forward.
Yeah, this is like the mafia. They look like they just straight out extorting people.
They're literally exploiting people left and right so they can make money and grow their own personal brands and stay in the positions of power that they've built for themselves.
I was watching the news this morning. CNN said they believe that shit too.
I think anything with Gayle King speaking, you gotta question it at this point in life.
Not to some people. Damn.
USCCA membership.
Close friend Gayle King, who suggested the allegations needed to be put in the context of the times, which seemed to be the antithesis of Oprah's own principles.
Nothing can be further from the case. She was very upset she thought that the documentary needed to breathe a little more. She thought it was important that it be put in context for the times. Because, these allegations were many years ago, and now we're here in 2020. Put it in context of the times of what was going on there.
One of the accusers, Alexia Norton-Jones, said she was in shock and felt that Oprah had built her brand on her story of being abused and yet abandoned them at the moment it mattered most. Rose McGowan, one of the most outspoken voices around Hollywood abuse, put it in the bluntest possible terms. As she wrote, "I'm glad more are seeing the ugly truth of Oprah. I wish she were real, but she isn't. From being pals with Weinstein to abandoning and destroying Russell Simmons' victims, she is about supporting a sick power structure for personal gain. She is as fake as they come." In other words, Oprah mastered the ability to make power feel kind, mastering the performance of care while using it to protect power. All of this behavior leaves you questioning how Oprah was ever considered trustworthy in the first place, especially as a huge part of her image was her backstory. She presented herself as a poor girl from rural Mississippi, a child so deprived she claimed
passion. It's only something evil Hollywood person could just come up with. It's only the devil could come up with some shit like this.
So the reason why she was billed as trustworthy is because the media build her image in that way. If the media wants to control the image and create a story and have you perceived a certain way, they have every single tool to do so.
But she pretty much was controlling the image the whole time.
You think she wasn't having people helping her, pushing her agenda forward?
Somebody was helping her.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, somebody was on top of her.
Sure.
Make her look good.
It takes a village, brother.
They do. This the Democratic village.
We know that there's an evil power structure.
Don't poke your finger before you come in the party. Let me eat your finger.
Like, think about it. As soon as Kamala ran, first interview.
Oprah Winfrey!
Oprah was ever considered trustworthy in the first place, especially as a huge part of her image was her backstory. She presented herself as a poor girl from rural Mississippi, a child so deprived she claimed cockroaches were her pets. No nice clothes, no comfort, no stability. That story allowed her audience to see themselves in her. They believed her story was their story, and unlike the polished presenters of the time, it made Oprah feel authentic, self-made. But her family tells a very different story. They actually describe Oprah as having a spoiled, comfortable childhood. After a controversial biography written about Oprah, her cousin even claims to have confronted her about these lies, with Oprah reportedly replying, "That's what people want to hear. The truth is boring." That single line reveals the moment a person made a conscious decision to become a product. Her cousin said, quote, "No one in the family believes her stories, but now that she's so rich and powerful, everyone is afraid to contradict her." Vernon Winfrey, a stepfather who reportedly helped raise Oprah, is quoted as saying, "She may be admired by the world, but I know the truth." And so this is what made what happened in Maui so damning. Because for the first time, both sides of the Oprah duality were exposed in the same event. The person and the business standing in the same frame, impossible to separate. But to understand why this controversy landed so badly, you first have to understand the damage Oprah had already done to Native Hawaiian families long before the disaster struck. It started, as these things so often do with Oprah, with a story designed to make her look amazing in every sense of the word. Her personal trainer had spotted a beautiful stretch of land on Maui and feared a developer would snap it up and ruin it. So Oprah bought it herself, presenting it not as a personal acquisition, but as an act of protection. But then she bought more and more until, quietly over the course of years, Oprah Winfrey had amassed more than 1,000 acres in one of the most land-scarce communities in the United States. It was bought up privately, fenced off, and sealed off from the community it was taken from, serving no purpose beyond expanding the private empire of a billionaire. And as her land acquisitions grew, the consequences rippled outward in ways that were hard to ignore. Housing costs soared beyond what many local families could even afford. Native Hawaiians whose families had lived on that land for generations were priced out of it entirely. Money flowed into private estates, while the wider community was left with failing roads, stretched utilities, and weaker public infrastructure. And slowly, without one single dramatic moment, a place that once belonged to its people became part of Oprah's portfolio. And this is what made what happened next so damning. On August 8th of 2023, wildfires tore through Maui. More than 2,200 buildings were destroyed. Over 100 people were killed, and it became the deadliest wildfire in the United States in more than a century. In the weeks that followed, Oprah and Dwayne Johnson stepped in front of cameras to announce the People's Fund of Maui. They each pledged $5 million and then asked the American public to donate alongside them. A gesture that does sound generous until you do the maths. At the time, Oprah's net worth was over $2.5 billion. So, while $5 million sounds like a lot, in reality, it was less than 0.2% of her wealth. And this image of two billionaires giving what was essentially pocket change, then asking hardworking, struggling Americans to cover the rest, left a sour taste in many people's mouths. But what made people much angrier was the way Oprah structured the fund. Donations didn't go directly to the victims themselves. Instead, they were funneled through the Entertainment Industry Foundation, an organization that helps celebrities turn charity into good press. Meaning part of every dollar donated was not just going towards relief, but towards the machinery that helps protect the image of elites like Oprah. Moreover, for the few victims who did receive the money from the fund, they were given nowhere near enough to actually rebuild their lives. That's because, due in part to people like Oprah driving up prices for locals, Maui has become one of the most expensive places to live in the United States. The fund was reportedly able to cover only around a quarter of what survivors needed to survive, let alone rebuild a home, restart a business, or even replace a lifetime of possessions. People were outraged because yet again it was another example of Oprah grabbing the story for herself, while the people she claimed to be helping never got the help they actually needed. Others went even further, pointing out that the wildfires have historically been land grab opportunities for the rich. Once a place is destroyed, property values collapse, and when that happens, wealthy outsiders typically move in to buy the land for a fraction of what it was once worth. For these reasons, many of Oprah's longtime fans have started turning on her, with comments beneath her fundraiser video calling out the blatant hypocrisy. One person wrote, "Let some homeless families stay in one of your mansions you're not using and donate your own cash, Oprah." And Joe Rogan sums it up perfectly here.
And she's up there talking about income inequality. Like, hey lady.
I gotta stop this, guys. What the hell did she do with Michael Jordan? Hold on.
Holy
so much
I ain't gonna lie, go back to that last picture. This says a lot right now. This picture says a lot right now.
What does this say?
Like
Hoochie mama. Ain't nothing but a hoochie mama.
Alright.
I mean, actually, no.
I see it now.
Actually,
it's like a 90s look.
Whatever, but no.
80s and 90s.
Do you know what she was probably doing in the back rooms before she got this famous? There's no way.
I think she's just willing to do evil shit
That's possible
to come up. I think like she understands that in this business, for her to win, somebody has to lose. As long as she wins, she's willing to do what it takes. And hey,
she's going to hell.
Hi, my name is.
She is literally sacrificing children, and she was humiliating people. She literally was controlling the perception of actors and everybody and everything. That's why they brought Michael Jordan up there. Now that I think about it,
I don't think that was what it was. I think she's just like a celebrity talk show host talking to a super famous person. I think that she used these instances of exploitation on others to push her personal brand forward and benefit.
I bet she didn't do that to Michael Jordan.
I think she did.
Okay.
When his dad died, she
Fuck
probably
no,
talked
she
about
couldn't
it.
do that shit to Michael Jordan.
She probably
Yeah, because
talked about
they're gonna go try to tear down the biggest star on the planet.
But that's what I'm telling you.
They're gonna go tear down one of the biggest stars on the planet.
They wouldn't
Why would
tear
they
him
do that to
down.
Michael Jordan?
They wouldn't
That
say
was
tear him
100%
We don't know-
tear him down.
we don't know what
We just
happened.
watched that every single person that was exploited was torn down. Why would she try to tear down Michael Jordan? Another billionaire.
I mean, she might have
make
talked
sense.
about it. Everybody was talking about it. Though.
I
Everybody was
promise
talking
you,
about it.
whatever they was doing
pull it
was
up, man.
scratching each other back.
No, yeah, no, I know. That's why I
They
think
get to go on the biggest TV show. She get to sit down with the biggest star in the world. They probably sat there.
That's
and
why
hee ha ha.
That's why I brought it up. Because in that time, they wanted people to be into the Michael Jordan shit.
Every single person she exploited was beneath her.
Yes.
You think she gonna get on there and exploit Michael Jordan?
No, I'm not. No, I didn't say
You know, and I could be
no.
wrong. I could be wrong. We could pull up the clip. Bro, every interview she did was not shitting on somebody.
It's like a variety of things.
So why would she, we already know that she's linked to the most powerful people, why would she get on there and tear down another person?
She probably was not tearing Michael Jordan down. They was just probably talking about the story.
Let's just end this. She controls the image of everything.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
She controls the image of everything.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting though. I respect the fact that she's been.
Wow. I don't respect shit she got.
Well, I respect the fact that she has stuck to this lie, this image that she's created so long that she's a super powerful billionaire.
That's not respected, bro. She's going to hell.
All rich people are going to hell according to the Bible.
Now, if you get right with God,
no.
It's some out there probably that confessed,
No.
you know, and if they haven't done anything crazy, but we don't know. We don't know who's going to hell, who's going to heaven. Either way it goes.
Says it in the Bible.
Well, I'm not gonna say every rich person, but it doesn't matter. Either way, it doesn't matter. I think that, man, it's just some powerful people out there. It could be possible when Michael Jordan went backstage, you know, somebody tapped him on the ass. Good job, boy. Some shit like that could go on, you know. And some people are, hey, I don't rock like that. There's shit going on.
I think the biggest thing that I take away from this is that she is a liar and a backstabber, and she will do anything to continue to push her brand forward, even if that means stabbing people in the back, shitting on people, exploiting people.
She's evil as fuck.
Her biggest end goal is to continue to push her personal brand forward so that she can make more money and be successful. And she does not care who has to lose. And anyone who gets in the way of that, or threatens her image, has to pay some sort of price. And that's just simply the biggest takeaway I've seen. But I will respect the fact that she has gone to the lengths to protect the money and have the money.
Why would you respect somebody going to hell? Why would you respect that?
Because she has a lot of money.
Well, you're a fucking dumbass.
All the people with a lot of money are going to hell. Says it in the Bible. All billionaires. What billionaire you think is going? You think, bro? People who are billionaires are so disconnected from the world.
Maybe billion. It's more billionaires. But I don't know, bro. It's still billionaires out there. You could just be
like
smart. You don't freaking know, man. I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't know. Who knows? She going to hell. But you was in Hollywood. I'm saying it could be a billionaire out there that created some shit, and he may not go to hell. But you in Hollywood, you controlling the perception of what other people think. This showed me. I'm sorry. I just might just say the word. They really think people are Goyans. I really think. No, actually, though. No, actually.
It's like we're gonna go exploit the Goy with
fucking,
our Goy slop.
No, actually, though, this shows me that people are dumb as shit. The human, the way they're controlling shit, people are dumb. I cannot believe this. This stuff is mind blowing to me. We have, it's an evil world, man. This is just beyond crazy, though. That's why nothing good can survive, bro. Anything good, they shame. Shit's pretty crazy. They don't never promote anything good. It's just all bad. Think about it. She can promote shit good. Not a damn thing. This was humiliating people. And I guess that's interesting to people. Fighting in controversy.